Good evening. Today we shall discuss non-finite verbs. I've been repeatedly requested by students to discuss this. So finally, since we have advanced a bit uh, in verbs, so I think we should broach this topic now. Verbs can be broadly divided into two categories, finite and non-finite. Now, the word finite itself means something that is within limits, just limited. And non-finite, of course, means it is not limited, it is boundless. So, that is more or less the definition, literary definition of the words. So, in terms of verbs, how can we define those? Let us consider these examples of these few sentences that I have written. The first one goes like, I like ice cream. She or he likes ice cream. They like ice cream. You like ice cream. So here, if you notice, the main verb like goes on changing with the number and person of the subject. So it goes with our in line with our subject verb agreement rules. The first rule says that the verb has to agree with the subject in number and person. So this verb absolutely follows that. Hence we can say this functions like ordinary verb. So since this verb is tied to the subject, so it is limited. Its limit is as far as the subject goes. Hence we would say these are finite verbs. These change as the subject change. Okay, now let us see a contrasting image. Here you see another sentence. I like to play. You like to play. She or he likes to play. They like to play. So here the main verb like keeps changing with the subject. However, there is another verb. Play is a verb, don't you agree? So play does not change. To play, to play, to play. In all the four sentences, it does not change form. So we can see it's stark different from the main verb like. It does not change as the subject changes in number and person. So the verb play does not change. So I generally represent this as a dog which is on a leash. See, a person is taking his dog for a walk. The dog is on a leash. It cannot run away. So it is tied to the person. So I would take these as finite verbs. They are limited. Their movement is limited. On the other hand, in a contrasting image, a dog which is not on a leash, that means its movements are not limited by its master. That is the subject of the sentence. So these are metaphorically represented, or you can say pictorially represented. So that's how it is. So moving over to the next section, the categorization of finite and non-finite verbs. Okay, so this is a little wobbly. Right. Non-finite verbs can be divided into many categories. 3 categories to be precise. So non-finite verbs, as we have discussed, they are not limited, they're boundless, they're like stray dogs, not on a leash, so they can move about on their own. They're not dependent on the subject of the sentence in terms of its number or person. Let the subject change in number and person. Non-finite verbs do not change. So non-finite verbs can be categorized in 3 categories: infinitives, gerunds, participles. Now, these terms you may or may not be familiar with. Infinitives are the verbs which come with to. So, to do, to play, to watch, these are infinitives. Gerunds are verbs with ing. So, they are like present continuous form. But they do not behave as verbs. We will discuss that in a short while. And participles, which are adjective verbs. Participles again can be divided into three categories: present participle, past participle, and perfect participle. So more about those later. Today we shall just discuss infinitives. Too many topics together will muddle things up. So what are infinitives? Infinitives are the verb with the to in front of it. So consider these sentences. Birds love to sing. Okay, so here birds is the subject, love is the verb. To do what? To sing. So here to sing is not doing anything. It is just an object of the verb love. Hence it cannot be said as the main verb of the sentence. Again, to respect our parents is our duty. To respect our parents is our duty. So here to respect is what? It is the subject of the sentence. Again, it is not a verb. So thus we can see to verb in these particular sentences do not act as verbs. These are more like nouns. They either become the subject of the sentence or the object of the sentence, or sometimes it becomes the complement of the verb to describe something, or at other times it becomes the subject of the participle to the preposition, object of the preposition. Like you can say in the sentence, the speaker is about to begin. So about is again a preposition, to begin is the object of the preposition. So grossly to plus verb behaves like a noun. It does not behave like a verb. So it is called noun verb. So we will discuss it in more details in the later video, where we will take up gerunds and participles as well. For today, you just understand the finite and the non-finite definition and the various categories of non-finite verbs. Thank you.